I wonder if that made any sound when it actually did the transition. I actually don't know if that made any sound. Uh, that is the funny part. It should have. Oh, damn, camera's not even. Focus. God. Ah. I don't know if I should start this normally or if I should chop this up appropriately because this is a live stream. I don't know how guys start this. They probably just wait until maybe people come in, but I don't do this regularly, so I don't think that it'll work like that. We'll have the same like persona type of deal. Oh dang. Oh, wait, this should not be There you go. A little bit better. Test, test, test. So we might just do like 2 sessions and then like a warm up type session. And then I could bring it down and then come back up and actually shoot the actual video or whatever. And then delete the first one type of deal. Till I get more used to streaming.
Ending me.
Ow.
They knew what they were doing when they picked him.
The new pope is part.
I'm going to throw up like an article, and then I have like a actual article thing going on.
All of the Trumps.
I can set that up. I guess I can set that up right now. Trying to get some more energy for Crash Out here. Oh, that's exactly what I'm going to do, actually. I don't know if I can share the screen. Not to... Dude, why is it not... It keeps, like, jumping focus. Oh, God. There it goes. Nice. Yeah, that's weird. Probably because I'm looking away. Let's see if I can get like a new article. Something like that. The hell's the newer? Let's go to rooters. All right, let's see. I need a new scene. Actually, no, like this. Actually, this works. This is right main. Yeah, you guys can see that. Yeah. This is right main. Oh, okay. This is like my main deal. Okay. And that actually works. Nice. And then, okay, we're in it. That's a thumbnail. We are in it. But you can't really see that, I guess. It needs to be like zoomed in. Huh. Pope Leo once leveled criticism at Trump and Vance. MAGA is not amused. Before becoming pontiff, the first U.S. born pope was not shy about criticizing Donald Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance. Social media musings that pulled him into the maelstrom of divided U.S. politics on Thursday as he took on leadership of the global Catholic Church. Pope Leo, who was chosen by cardinals to succeed the late Pope Francis, has a handful of disapproving posts about the Republican leaders' policies on the X account of Robert Prevost, which is his name, before starting the pontificate. These posts drew their own criticism on Thursday from Trump's most diehard conservative supporters, including activist Laura Loomer, even as the president himself expressed pride at having an American in charge at the Vatican. To have the Pope from the United States of America, that's a great honor, Trump said at the White House. We live in a generation of not being enough. Let's see, so duplicate. Right, main zoom. Stretching out. There you go, that should work. What if this is how usual articles will be? It's just at the very top, pretty much. Cool, and I need to fix this. Totally on. Yeah, cakes. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Good riddance. I think it's just like a trial thing and making sure everything works and everything's good to go. Just because I haven't streamed in a while. In a long time. Panties on fires. As yeah, cake states. Let's see if this works. Hey, look at that. Fancy guy over here. Hey, we're working now. Look at that. We're professional. And then I got some sound effects.
Bruh. Stupid.
We're set up.
Nope.
Professional now. Fancy transitions. There you go. Yeah. So I might start the stream and then restart it. Get me. I'm already tired. Tired and hungry. Even though I'm fasting. My gosh. Yeah, I'll start it, then I'll delete this one. And then I'll actually make a show type of deal on the next one. Can't help it. I can't help it. It's Friday night because nobody should be up and doing anything, right? Nobody should be doing anything. So, I mean, like nobody should be like on watching YouTube lives. Not mine, anyways. Yeah, I'm like ultra yawning. In February, Prevost reposted an article headline, JD Vance is wrong. Jesus doesn't ask us to rank our love for others. Noobing. I'm already signed in. All right, I might all right, I think I'm just gonna like start and then I'm just gonna go in the editor and then cut this first part out. Pretty sure I could do that. Tired. And then I'll just get the video done and I can go to sleep. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Thanks, Cakes, for joining. We're gonna go through here, and then just gonna start going down the line. We have a bunch of videos lined up, and maybe we'll pick up some people along the way. Maybe it'll just be me and you the whole night. So we'll see how we do. Boom, boom. Let's get into it.
He's wading into issues that are big here in the United States. He's waded into the issue on climate change, advocated that it is real. He's waded into the issue on immigration. He called child separation. He's either tweeted directly on this or retweeted others who have expressed these sentiments, just talking about how awful child separation was, denouncing racism, supporting Dreamers. And then there's a more recent post that he made, and this one is directly rebuking J.D. Vance. It links to an article, and it links to a comment from J.D. Vance. an interview that Vance did on Fox News where he said there is a Christian concept that you love your family, and then you love your neighbor, and then you love your community, and then you love your...
So let's see. So this is Robert Prevost, the guy that is the Pope currently, and this is what he was saying previously, February 3rd, 2025, a couple months ago. JD Vance is wrong. Jesus doesn't ask us to rank our love for others, calling him out directly. You know they don't like that.
Your fellow citizens, and then after that, prioritize the rest of the world. A lot of the far left has completely inverted that. And the new Pope, Pope Leo XIV, retweeted the article and said, J.D. Vance is wrong. This is the title of the article. Jesus does not ask us to rank our love for others. Ambassador, I'll ask you, what do you make of that stuff?
You know, so let me just underscore that what he is saying is at the core of Catholic teaching, of Christian teaching, of the gospel.
There's nothing different.
You know, the fundamental teaching of Jesus is to love our neighbors. Period. End of conversation. The neighbor is not to be reduced or judged because of documentation status, gender, sexual orientation, race. No, and so if he is going to do this and continue to do this, which I have no doubt now he'll have a megaphone to do this, this is where I think that also this kind of, I would say, the best of our American spirit is going to shine at the Vatican, which is not America first, but America cares. And so we have a leader who's going to now use the papacy to promote the message that we human beings are called to care, not to put down the other. Oh my gosh, I will be celebrating, you know, for a long time, you know, the fact that the Cardinals have elected someone who will continue the vision of Pope Francis.
Yeah, and I think that's the main thing too, right? Is that we elected somebody, well, the Cardinals elected somebody that is American. So that should vibe with everything that we're doing right now, right? There should be no conflict of interest. He's the head of the Catholic Church, and he's just all about doing good things and helping other people out that are too weak. I don't understand what the problem is necessarily. I want to see the verse that Jesus ranks love. Sorry, I gotta move the chat somewhere like where it's floating. That'd be way better. Yeah. It's just, hey, can we care about everybody else? How dare? Oh wait, oh damn. Let me switch this. Boom. There you go. How dare he have good Catholic values? You mean the same ones that had residential schools or cover up PDF priests? Oh, god damn. Or the ones there, they started the Crusades or the Spanish Inquisition. Don't be going back into history like that. We can't be doing that. That's nonsense. He's still anti-trans, gay marriage, and IVF. So he still has the standard, like, Catholic, you know, the foundation of being Catholic, right? Most of us don't expect from someone who's literally the Pope. We're not going to progress that fast. Yeah. What? A Catholic Pope upholding real Christian values? The actual teachings of Christ, fictional or not? That's nonsense. I can't handle that. Power move. Picked an American Pope to reach out to the U.S. to wake up and remind them of what Christianity is. How are you going to argue that the man spent his whole life dedicating serving to God, and then people are like, the Pope is woke. Oh my God. I can't handle it. Oh, shit.
Post it on social media. Dress as the Pope.
Power move.
What's that? To have the Pope from the United States of America, that's a great honor. That's a great honor. When are you going to welcome the Pope? I'm watching, and they said he's from America. I said, that's great.
Yeah, so even Trump knows, right? Even Trump's like, yeah, if the Pope's from America, then, you know, that's good. Like, nothing's wrong. I want him to see it. I haven't actually seen Trump say anything negative about the Pope. The only thing he's done that's been awkward in relation to the Pope is put himself in the Pope's damn clothes and like hey, what if I was Pope for the day? I don't know. Like, what could we do? Maybe I would decide that. I don't know. Let's check the comments. He's somehow going to take credit for it. I just know. Well, they know. Wait till he finds out the Pope doesn't like him. Yeah, which they've already run into that. New Pope don't like Trump. Yeah, Pope Leo hates him. He's just upset it wasn't him. So yeah, everybody knows, and then Trump now knows that the Pope does not like him. Maybe he'll say something. He could just ignore it. Like there's nothing. He could literally just be like, "Oh well, whatever. The Pope doesn't like me, so." You say, "I agree." Even the Vatican was like, these MFers are getting too crazy. We need to help them a bit." Yeah, that's the because that's like the first American Pope, right? That's the very first one.
Oh man, the MAGA outrage about the new pope is absolutely sending me. They knew what they were doing when they picked him, specifically a pope from the United States, given the state of the United States right now. He is extremely anti-Trump and JD Vance and is so snarky. I am living for it. He has been so openly critical of JD Vance and Donald Trump on Twitter. He called out JD Vance, saying that Jesus says not to rank our love for other people.
Can't rank him.
This was in response to JD Vance saying that you should love your family and your nation first before other people. He posted about Donald Trump and said, "Is your conscience not disturbed?" Calling him out for wrongfully detaining migrant children, U.S. citizens, and he said there is absolutely nothing Christian about taking away children from their parents, locking them in cages, and that they should be ashamed. This Pope is coming for Donald Trump.
Yeah, but all he can do is do those type of mentions because I mean, what is the actual? Like you can go against nationalists or you can have actual real Christian values. And I would say the nationalist side is just going to be like, oh, well, we just want to make sure that our country's
Not
safe
disturbed.
and everybody, you know, abides by the laws and everybody's good to go. Nobody's doing anything. No immigrants are coming in here and hurting our people. And then there's a bunch of good immigrants out there that are still going to be affected negatively by these same policies that are essentially getting out all the extremely bad people, right? It's the same thing. Yeah, even the Vatican, yeah, too crazy. Yeah, did you bring them in? But yeah, so I would say like, and then there's a Christian side where it's like, well, let's just take care of all these people, you know, humans first, no matter where they come from or if they're actually struggling, you know, with the asylum claims. Yeah, if you go back to your same country, then yeah, we'll throw out your asylum claim. But they're still here. They've been here this whole time from the asylum claim. And they just haven't had their day in court, then I don't understand what the real issue is. Because in terms of a Christian, you know, Christian value or Christian bias or Catholic bias, you know, any honestly major religion is going to be like, hey, let's just take care of these people and not put them in a worse situation, right? If we have the means, we should be able to use those means to take care of people. That's the only thing. That's the only like real message I see that's coming across, right? He can have enough persuasion to flip it on the next election. What do you mean, like flip it, like in terms of what? Like he can utilize this to help him out in the next election, or help out like a Republican candidate in the next election? I need to move this somewhere so I can see it. Or actually, I could do this because I can barely see the chat. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, so yeah, he can have enough persuasion to flip it to the next election. Okay. I see you now. I see you. That is true. He could. Like he can use his voice to help a party by openly shutting down bad policies. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. In terms of the Pope, he can say that. And he can like help like persuade it. It's like the super Christian or Catholic MAGA voters. Maybe he can persuade them in that camp, because anybody on the outside of that camp is not going to be able to say anything whatsoever. So that's just how it goes. It has to come from within the camp, and yeah, the Pope could have some type of sway and be like, hey, like, maybe we shouldn't separate the kids from their moms and just leave the moms and the families here, and then deal with the actual, like, if they've committed crimes, then yeah, we should do that. Maybe the Pope will just push due process. Just have the Pope like utilize his stature and his status to be like, hey, you guys have this constitution, especially because he's an American Pope. That's what I would say. Like, hey, let's just follow the Constitution. That's what Jesus would have liked. Time of deal. You're saying he can keep pooping on Trump, and maybe the conservative Christians that flip to go back to Dem or conservative liberal voting. That is true. That's true.
He's wading into issues that are big here in the United States. He's waded into the issue on climate change, advocated that it is real. He's waded into the issue on immigration. He called child separation. He's either tweeted directly on this or retweeted others who have expressed these sentiments, just talking about how awful child separation was, denouncing racism, supporting dreamers. And then there's a more recent post that he made, and this one is directly rebuking J.D. Vance. It links to an article, and it links to a comment from J.D. Vance, an interview that Vance did on Fox News, where he said there is a Christian concept that you love your family, and then you love your neighbor, and then you love your community, and then you love your fellow citizens, and then after that, prioritize the rest of the world. A lot of the far left has completely inverted that, and the new Pope, Pope Leo XIV, retweeted the article and said J.D. Vance is wrong. This is the title of the article. Jesus does not ask us to rank our love for others. Ambassador, I'll ask you, what do you make of that stuff?
You know, so let me just underscore that what he is saying is at the core of Catholic teaching, of Christian teaching, of the gospel. You know, the fundamental teaching of Jesus is to love our neighbors. To love our neighbors, period. End of conversation. The neighbor is not to be reduced or judged because of documentation status, gender, sexual orientation, race. No, and so if he is going to do this and continue to do this, which I have no doubt now he'll have a megaphone to do this, this is where I think that also this kind of, I would say, the best of our American spirit is going to shine at the Vatican, which is not America first, but America cares. And so we have a leader who's going to now use the papacy to promote the message that we human beings are called to care, not to put down the other. Oh my gosh.
Well, yeah, we've already gone through that.
So we all know that there is a new Pope, and that's great. Doesn't affect me, but good for the Pope. What does affect me, potentially, concerning the new Pope, are the people talking about the new Pope. You see, as soon as the new Pope was announced, people in American politics, for some reason, couldn't stop talking about the Pope. And it was one side of American politics that caught my eye. People like this guy. Pope Leo is not an American, he's a Democrat.
Read his tweeter for you.
He went on to say that this Pope even supported the COVID vaccine, because anyone who's read the Bible, we all know that you're not supposed to heal the sick. No, that's a big no-no in Christianity. You're supposed to bill them. Yeah, you're supposed to bill them or their insurance. And let's not forget Laura Loomer. She said, this is the new Pope. He's the first American Pope. He is anti-Trump, anti-MAGA, pro-open borders, and total Marxist like Pope Francis. Catholics don't have anything good to look forward to. Just another Marxist puppet.
Dude, what the hell? I don't know the actual definition of a Marxist. But I'm going to find out what the definition of a Marxist is. Let's see if I can fill the screen. Boom. Nope. See, didn't work. Nope, that doesn't work either. There you go. Marxism is a social, political, and economic theory developed by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels, emphasizing the historical importance of a class struggle and the role of economic factors in shaping human society. It's multifaceted theory with various interpretations encompassing philosophical, political, and economic perspectives. Okay. So it's a philosophical framework that views history and society as a dynamic process. Class struggles. Marxism provides a framework for understanding power, class, and social change. Marx's analysis of capitalism and the labor theory of value influenced socialist and communist economic systems. So that's the major incorrect thing that they don't like is the socialist and communist economic systems. So let's see. Marxist views on capitalism. Marx viewed capitalism as inherently exploitative, but it is though. That's the basis of capitalism, where workers are exploited for their labor and are alienated from their work. He argued that capitalism would eventually be overthrown by a proletarian revolution and replaced with a classless socialist society. And Marxism also critiqued capitalism for its tendency towards crises, economic inequality, and the exploitation of the working class. Okay. So I could see that. So when she's saying Marxist, she's pretty much just saying like a socialist. He wants to help everybody, which makes sense. If Jesus was around, like right now, so if Jesus was still around, would he not be a Marxist? Would he be like would he? I feel like what political side would Jesus be? You know, like what kind of societal structure would Jesus want? I feel like he'd want something like just where everybody's taken care of. You know, there's no drastic inequality, because even when Jesus was there, you know, they had like the pharaohs, right? I remember watching the Moses, the let my people go stuff. So there was pharaohs, there was different levels in that society. And I don't remember there being talk of, like in the Bible, of there being like any major contradiction of that. Jesus not saying that. Literally, it was just always coming down to let's just make everything fair and let's take care of the poor. Yeah, if Jesus was actually around, they'd be like, oh, this guy's a Marxist and he's an immigrant, kick him out. Jesus is an immigrant, get his ass out of here. Jesus came back and he's like, I'm anti-Trump. You think the MAGA Christians would be like, oh, we got to get Jesus out of here. And this guy's crazy. I don't know what he's talking about. He's super woke, this Jesus guy. Like we can't have that. None of that nonsense in here. So yeah, he's anti-Trump, anti-MAGA, pro-open borders, and the open borders one is like, yeah, you definitely should probably have secure borders and just make sure everybody's coming. So it's like, you kind of need secure borders, right?
In the Vatican.
So
I don't know if being pro.
Let's go back to that real fast. But then come on, you can't call the Pope like a Marxist puppet though. Like Catholics don't have anything good to look forward to. Like, come on. What? God is good. They have God to look forward to, isn't it? Like is she even like religious to be saying this? Like, what? I hope that Catholics are like piling onto her. I'm not on freaking X by any means.
Vatican. Now, I don't know if being pro open borders is specifically mentioned in the Bible, but we all know it is very un-Christ-like to be welcoming to strangers and to treat them well, right? Again, for those of us who have read the Bible, James, Matthew, Deuteronomy, Leviticus, any of those, they all clearly state to be as cruel as possible to strangers, to never welcome foreigners into your land. In fact, one of the commandments, I'm pretty sure, is thou shalt deport to Sikot. Anyway, joking aside, the reason why MAGA is losing their minds over this new pope is because the pope has influence over 1.3 billion Catholics. It's hard to push a religious fundamental political movement when the head of the Catholic Church thinks your movement is garbage. Look at the elections in Germany. Look at the elections in Canada. Look at the elections in Australia. And now, look at the election in the Vatican. Far-right, conservative MAGA extremism is on the sharp decline worldwide. And that makes them very, very nervous.
And I think that's what really scares them, to be completely honest, is just because the Pope is beholden, as he just said, to 1.3 billion people. Like, that's way more than what the little MAGA section, the 77 million, that's their fully conservative, you know? And when you're not going to be sitting there tap dancing around those little topics and trying to make sure that President Trump is doing everything appropriately and then trying to correct him if he's doing something absolutely wrong, when you're beholden to dramatically way more people, 1.3 billion, that you're the spiritual leader of. You're now the people that voted you in with the smoke, and they say that the Holy Spirit is within the new Pope. So they have chosen you. You've been chosen spiritually to lead 1.3 billion people, and the Pope does have influence. That's why they have to completely try to downplay the Pope, which is insane. You can't do that. You can't do that at all. Let's hop into these comments. I'm curious if they will openly stray from their religious beliefs now that they are getting called out publicly by the Pope, or if they will still pretend to be good Christians. And this is the interesting part. This is where the split comes into play. Are you going to sit there and then say that everything that's going on right now is what Jesus would want? Are you going to say that this is what the Bible teaches from all the years? I know good Christians, good Catholics have been going to school, private school, Catholic school, going to church Sundays, Wednesdays, maybe Monday, Bible school, all that learning, and you're just going to throw it out because the president's saying that that's not right. Or, Marjorie Taylor Greene or somebody, or these people, these random ass people, these MAGA people on Twitter are saying the Pope is completely woke. Like we shouldn't help these people, get them out of the country. Ignore the Pope, what the Pope is saying. Your religion's been kind of wrong the whole time anyways. Like, you're going to listen to those people instead of the damn Pope? Like, come on. Let's see. So yeah, me saying his only job is to spread love and peace to all. That's incorrect. Yeah. The Pope's job is to lead spiritually. They're inclusive of that is love and peace, but yeah, that's not his only job. We can look it up too. Like let me see. Cause I want to make sure that we are on the same page. Yeah, look at this. So it says the Pope, primarily he serves as a supreme pastor, guiding over 1.3 billion Catholics worldwide through teachings, liturgical practices, which is just going to church, and doing all the regular stuff, and moral directives. This right here, moral directives. I want to separate kids from their parents. Is that morally good or not? That's when the Pope is like, dude, that's not good. That's not what Jesus would want. That's where he steps in, and he's the leader. So you're going to listen to the Pope, who's not in charge of, just leads 1.3 billion people, or to dear Trump. That's yeah, you're close. Yeah, you're close. I give it to you. I give it to you. All right. Let's see. Boom, boom, boom.
Well, that was quick. MAGA is already furious about the selection of the new Pope, Cardinal Robert Francis Prevost of Chicago. He's now going by the name Pope Leo XIV. MAGA is freaking out, calling him by every name in the book, calling him a woke DEI lib, New World Order, you name it. They are calling him it. Let me show you some of the most deranged posts coming in right now. Laura Loomer was one of the first to weigh in, calling him a woke Marxist Pope. Loomer, one of Trump's biggest supporters, also wrote the following: "This is the new Pope. His name is Robert Prevost. He's the first American Pope. He is anti-Trump, anti-MAGA, pro-open borders, and a total Marxist like Pope Francis. Catholics don't have anything good to look forward to, just another Marxist puppet in the Vatican."
And we looked up Marxist, and yeah, if you're a super capitalist person, hey, maybe you guys are billionaires or millionaires. I don't know, maybe you're killing capitalism, but just like newsflash, not a lot of people are killing capitalism. Like, we're all kind of just coasting by, and that's the majority of people. And you can go to the UK as well, and they're going to be in the same boat pretty much. The majority of people aren't, and it's designed to be like that, right? And nobody's saying that that's bad. Like we've always been raised in this capitalist system, so we're like, yeah, it's fine. Like obviously there's nothing wrong. But then when we start to see like these housing prices and everything go up, and when people can't afford anything, and then the wages are stagnant and they're not keeping up with just normal living, the cost of living is just getting absolutely ridiculous. And people that are doing well, say maybe your household income is like 80,000 or 70,000, $60,000 to $80,000, just doing really good for like an average person. And you still can't afford a house though. Like that's what I'm talking about. And then now the doll thing's coming down where Trump was like, well, maybe you guys can bring it down from, 30 dolls to you just get your daughter $2 and she'll be fine with that. But don't look at my $90 million military parade. Like, oh shit. Oh, memes like, I can't afford to wipe my cheeks anymore. And I don't mean my face. It is getting hard out there, but I've been raised in the capitalist system, so I don't think like a full socialist thing would be good because obviously you don't want people to be lazy or whatever. That's usually the main argument. But we just got to raise it. We just got to change a couple of things, like Bernie Sanders, but like more center type of deal. But at this point, Bernie Sanders is like center. Like he's learned he doesn't want anything drastic. All he literally wants to do is freaking make sure everybody can affordably live at this point. I'm pretty sure that's his message now.
Loomer's just been on a rampage. She also wrote the following. The new pope once retweeted a post about how we need to keep praying for career criminal and drug addict George Floyd. The tweet said, may all hatred, violence, and prejudice be eradicated. What
the fuck? The new pope once retweeted a post about how we need to keep praying for career criminal and drug addict George Floyd. Damn, why are you going so hard? Who's this Laura Loomer chick? The tweet said, may all hatred, violence, and prejudice be eradicated. What prejudice? Is that another way to spell fentanyl overdose? Did he overdose? I thought it was proven that it was the knee. I don't know. I don't want to get into it if I don't fully know for like the top of my head. Maybe you guys do know. Marxist Pope. We continue to pray for, because this is when he was a bishop. No, he just retweeted this. Okay. We ask the Holy Spirit to unite us and heal our wounds. May all hatred, violence, and prejudice be eradicated so that we may live in harmony and in peace. Yeah, it's doing a normal prayer. I don't know. But, and then Jesus here's the thing, like, oh my God. Even if George Floyd was the worst person ever, like worst person, everything's true. Let's say the worst about him. Jesus would still like heal him and pray for him. Like, what the fuck? Like, are we not like, that's the teachings. That's why they're so scared about this, because in true Christianity and Catholic, beliefs, like we're forgiving people. We forgive and then try to help the lost people get back to the road, right? Oh no, he said to eradicate hate. Yeah, it's crazy out here. Jesus is selective when it's convenient. Yeah, valid. Cakes knows Jesus is selective.
Prejudice. Is that another way to spell fentanyl? Overdosed Marxist Pope. Charlie Kirk weighed in as well, saying that Mr. Prevost, the new pope, was retweeting George Floyd propaganda. Sean Davis wrote the following. The new pope seems to be anti-Trump and pro-open borders. Joey Manarino was in his feelings as well, writing, okay, this new pope is a liberal piece of shit. We are effed. But he wasn't done there. He too was on a Twitter rampage, writing, Pope Leo the 14th is not an American, he's a Democrat. Just read his Twitter feed. Man, is there anything that they don't complain about? Hey, remember to follow our account for more and add the Midas Touch podcast right now on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We got new episodes out now.
Oh, this was Midas Touch. Okay. Let's go to the comments. All the MAGA cult followers are upset because they know our new great pope doesn't like Trump or Vance. Yeah, and with that 1.3 billion people following will have an effect. They know it's going to, no matter what. You can say whatever you want about the pope. It's going to have an effect. Pope Leo bring in the heat. They are freaking out because they thought since he's American, He was going to speak American, not Mexican. Yeah, that's the thing too. What does a meme say? LMFAO, how is a moral compass automatically being a piece of tea? That's just how it goes. You can't have a moral compass because they know if you have an actual moral compass and you can't, none of the stuff that they try to pass off as okay will come across as that. Yeah, and the Pope, this Pope, even though he's from America, and when he did his the introductory speech, he only spoke in Italian and Spanish. He didn't speak in English at all. Too bad for Laura Loomer that the Pope was chosen by actual Christians and not a reality show turned political figure. What kind of Pope? What kind of people come out and say negative comments out of Pope? Yes, seriously. This administration is seriously twisted. It's disturbing. Yeah, and this is what would catch me off guard in the first place. Like, as soon as you start to say something about the Pope, I'm going to be looking at you sideways. Like, what? Like, you okay? You talking about a Pope? He has no beef with you guys. No beef whatsoever. Ridiculous.
Partially descended from Creole people of color, according to Jari Honora, a noted genealogist and historian. Mr. Honora works at the historic New Orleans Collection, a museum in the French Quarter, and was a researcher on the TV show Finding Your Roots with historian Henry Louis Gates Jr.
Pope's grandparents were married in New Orleans in 1887, and from there, those deep Southern roots branched out. According to Jari Honore, who is the family historian at the Historic New Orleans Collection, census data shows those roots in the Crescent City were here until they migrated in the 1900s. He says census data shows the Martinez family.
Yeah, Cake says, seriously though, someone who is holy, no way he's a liberal, POS. What the heck is wrong with people? I don't know. They just know that if the new Pope is in and he starts saying all this stuff and he's anti-Trump, then the Christians will think, wait a second, am I bad? Since I'm pro-Trump, does that make me the baddie? Am I not thinking right? It sends a jolt through all the actual Christians and Catholics to be like, oh, wait a second, were we wrong? Are we wrong? We're not wrong, are we? That's what it makes people think.
Family lived in the 7th Ward, and with their Haitian and Creole backgrounds, were considered mulatto or people of color.
There is now a newly elected Pope who has Louisiana Creole ties. He is also a descendant of Louisiana Creoles of color.
The Pope's Haitian. The Pope's Haitian, they're not going to like that. They're not going to like that one bit. Pope has a Haitian bloodline. They're really not good. So, yeah, he's mixed race, DEI, Marxist, freaking Pope. Oh, yeah, MAGA's going to lose their minds. Haitian bloodline, so he can speak Creole. He speaks Italian and Spanish and English, obviously. This is significant because Haiti was the first place Columbus colonized. Wow, full circle. God is telling the world something. Prevost is a well-known in LA and Texas. Not be surprised by this. This is a direct action towards current-day racism. They're not talking about names. Yeah, it's about bloodlines. He had like the actual family charts and everything. Yeah, surnames do not mean anything. Like my last name, you wouldn't even know like what I was. That's his dad's name, who was Sicilian and French. So for him to be Creole and added mix, he's an American Creole. Yeah, so per the Pope's bloodline, homeboy is Haitian. Didn't see that coming.
Well, many, if not most of us here in the States are feeling at least a little bit of pride that the new Pope is an American. MAGA world is not. Instead, they are furious that this Pope stands for Catholic values like peace, kindness, and helping the disadvantaged. Conspiracy theorist Laura Loomer called the Pope another Marxist puppet in the Vatican. Chris Matthews, an Irish Catholic who went to Holy Cross, a Jesuit college. I miss you, buddy. It's good to have you back.
Thank you very much. This is what it takes, Katie.
I know. It took an American pope. And look what brought us back together.
It's an amazing story. I was wafted. For these people to jump on this new pope, I am thrilled about an American pope. I can speak to the pope in my language, in his language, without a translator, an interpreter. We're together. In a chance that he comes to America, and he will come to America, with his Chicago accent and his background as a graduate of Villanova in Philadelphia, he is going to be one of ours. And I think it's fabulous.
Yeah,
I just do. And I don't understand any other emotion by an American Catholic about this new pope, except he's one of us.
Yeah, he's American. There's nothing like to go back against. He's American. He's from Chicago. Likes deep dish pizza. If he was a MAGA, then you wouldn't see any other problems. You wouldn't see, black people complaining. You wouldn't see Democrats complaining about him being MAGA. The only thing they care about is that he's American. Yeah, Cakes is saying, I can't wait for him to come visit. Oh, the U.S. to talk settle. Yeah, to actually be like, hey. And the thing is, the funny thing with him is like, talking shit for the Pope is just like, hey, let's treat people nice. And then that's it. And then people go up in arms about that. Like, oh, no. We can't have that. So he's like, new Pope is a registered Republican. We are so back.
I mean, you just made this post and it already didn't age well. MAGA fury boils over at new Pope's anti-Trump views. It seems he's not a big fan of Trump and J.D. Vance, specifically their immigration policies. Literally his last tweet was a repost of someone else criticizing Donald Trump and J.D. Vance specifically. To be clear, though, you don't know that he's a Republican. You think he's a Republican because he voted in the Republican primaries in 2012, 2014, and 2016, but here's the thing. He lives in Illinois, and in Illinois there's no party registration, but to vote in a primary you have to choose a party ballot to vote on. Prevail has voted in more Republican primaries than Democratic, but he's voted in both. And let me clue you in on a little something. I know people who are Democrats who live in states like this. And you know what they do? Many of them vote in the Republican primary. Like they're pretty satisfied with what the results of the Democratic primary are going to be. So they choose to cast their vote in the Republican primary. Some of them do it for like the person they think would be the weakest candidate. But more often than not, they vote to just try and keep out the person they think is horrible from winning the primary. And that may just be what we're seeing here. But he may be a Republican. That doesn't make him MAGA, because there's actually a big difference between those two.
Meme saying, I can't imagine someone being so nice when they insult you with peace. It can make 1.3 billion people hate you in an instance. Yeah, and if Trump already doesn't have enemies, that's why I don't think Trump has said anything mean about the Pope yet. He knows he can't do that. Like that's like an immediate downswing for them. Because if people already don't like him, they didn't clap for him at the damn the Pope's funeral, and then he's gonna make mean comments about the Pope. I don't think so. I don't think so. Why don't these people not understand that MAGA and Republicans are not always the same? That's because we're only talking about MAGA, and he's talking like Republicans. There's more Republicans now, well, that voted in the past that are, there's a lot of Christian and Catholic Republicans. I think that's what his main point is. Very intentional move by the Vatican. Now there's like a big conspiracy theory about how the Vatican, the people voted in freaking the new Pope, and that's the only time, that's why they picked him American, because he was only a cardinal for freaking 2 years. He's a younger guy. He's 69 years old. But apparently, freaking, it's a conspiracy. I mean, he's Catholic. It's highly probable he was a Republican, but it changed because of what he's been seeing. That makes sense. I'm a Republican and have been a never Trump girl since 2015. I proudly voted for Harris and blue for the first time in 2024. Never been MAGA. People still think Trump equals Republicans. That's because Trump has taken over the Republican Party, and a lot of Republicans aren't standing up when he does some crazy stuff. That's why. I live in Red, Utah. I'm a Democrat, but I vote Republican and try to vote the most conservative out. Interesting. Interesting tactics.
All of the Trump supporters are having a total meltdown right now over the new pope not liking Trump and JD Vance. It really is just so funny to watch them freak out over this. Like Laura Loomer, for example, one of Trump's biggest fans, immediately responded to the...
So everybody's just pulling up the Laura Loomer one. That's what we've seen a lot in these memes saying, yeah, I think that's what the problem is. Most Republicans don't stand up as loud as the MAGA people. Exactly. If a bunch of Republicans started actually standing up and doing, saying what they were thinking and going more center with their ideals and fighting back when Trump does push and the MAGA crowd takes it away, then we would separate those. But if that's not happening, then nobody's going to separate it. It's like how we need separation between woke left and just regular like left center people. Like Biden was like left center. It was like super, super liberal or anything.
To the Pope saying, woke Marxist Pope. They're just throwing in buzzwords at this point. Sean Davis, who is super MAGA, said the new Pope seems to be anti-Trump and pro-open borders. Megyn Kelly went from really happy to really sad. She said, praise God, this is exciting at the news of the Pope being selected, and then said, is it too much to hope that some 20-year-old ran the new Pope's X account and he never looked at it? I mean, they're just coping right now. Laura Loomer again said he's anti-Trump, anti-MAGA, pro-open borders, and a total Marxist like Pope Francis. Catholics don't have anything good to look forward to, just another Marxist puppet in the Vatican. Again, throwing around buzzwords. If you ask Laura Loomer to define any of these words, she wouldn't be able to. She'd have to open a dictionary, presuming that she'd be able to read it.
That's what we did. I was like, what the hell exactly is a Marxist?
Joey Manorino, who is one of the strangest guys on the internet, had a multi-post meltdown over it. And finally, this lunatic said, this is so bad, in response to the news. As I said, it's just so funny to watch them freak out over the new pope. I've enjoyed every single second of it. As a reminder, I post on YouTube, Instagram, Substack, and more. The link is in my bio. Check it out.
It's a Substack. Going down to the comments. If they're freaking out about the Pope being woke, I don't think they'd be fans of a certain guy named Jesus. What do you say? Yayike says, haha, we can read, just didn't know what Marxist was. I didn't know what Marxist was either. We're getting educated at the same time. Let's face it, MAGA will never be happy. Do they not understand Jesus? Do they think Jesus would be anti-immigration or something? Well, it was posted that the Pope is a Democrat. Yay, Pope. And I think all popes are like essentially Democrats. Anybody that wants the majority of people to do better, which is what Trump ran on in the first damn place. But now everything's getting more expensive because of the tariffs and the policies. Trump ran on cheaper groceries, cheaper gas. And then he said gas was $1.89, and everybody went around and nobody could freaking find where the hell Trump was saying gas was $1.89 at. And then we had like MAGA people using their damn coupons and then taking a picture after they used their gas coupon to show that it was like $1.90 or something. Nonsense. This day is glorious. Hallelujah for the new Pope. And I love it. I think it's funny how the most powerful American is now the Pope. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, Trump has to walk in the shadow of the Pope now, and he's an American. I didn't even think about that. If we can play completely honest, it's funny as hell. He'll be fine. That's why Trump reposted that damn Pope picture, because Pope's in charge of 1.3 billion people, or is the spiritual leader. And then Trump only has America, which is like 350 million, right? 315 million. Nowhere near 1.3 billion. You could take away all of America and the Pope would still have 1 billion people on Trump. Oh, God. But anyways, guys, thank you, Yaya Cakes, for staying. Thanks for Meme for staying. Talking, because otherwise I would be doing this by myself, live stream. I need to get back into it. If you guys hit the like button, please subscribe for more content like this. And thanks for commenting this whole time. Special thanks to Yaya Cakes. Thank you so much. You've been the best commenters the whole time. Lame, I wanted more. I'm at home on a Friday night. Yeah, tell me about it. This is the time I'm usually passed out, though. What do you think I have to do? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, nobody does. It's because of the tariffs. Because of the damn tariffs. But I'm going to stop this, and I am going to see if I can cut the very first part of the video because I haven't done this in a while. See you guys in the next stream. Peace.